good.
Are we out of my oven?
Testing, testing, can you hear that?
I hope you can hear me. Oh, apologies for the technical difficulties. We are hopefully online now and you can all hear us. Please let us know in the comments if you can hear myself, John Hobbs and Steph Johnson. We are 4 minutes into the second period here at Loddon Valley in this crucial Premier Division clash in the BWB between the Rockets and the Lothian Phoenix. And the score there from Swami. And Steph, can you hear me first off?
Oh, I've never been so
go.
pleased to hear your voice in all my life.
That's the first time anyone's ever said that. So let's get to the actions. Our apologies for the technical difficulties as Tom Elliott-Smith all alone goes in for two. And the Reading Rockets lead 27-20 over the Lothian Phoenix.
Yeah, we've come at the right time, really. It's the biggest lead that the Rockets have had. It's been back and forth since the beginning of the first quarter. So Rockets just starting to pull away a little bit.
It was a very tight-knit first period. Both teams were tied at 15. It was a very physical, very chippy first 10 minutes. As Ben Leach inside scores for Lothian. Reece Barker back into the side after missing the last home game against Manchester with a illness. Ball goes out of bounds and Lothian will get the ball. And a timeout has been called by Lothian head coach Niall Ritchie as they trail 27-22 over the Reading Rockets. So both teams coming in with a lot to prove in this contest. Reading still without a win this season. Lothian just the one win. Both teams, of course, promoted from Division 1. It was an exciting Division 1 final in Essex last season, which saw the Reading Rockets come out on top 77-52. What do you think has changed, Steph, in that time frame from the playoff final to today's game?
Yeah, I think with both teams, they're going to notice the increase in standard. You know, you're playing against teams that have got 3-4 GB, under 23 senior men in them. That the standard is incredible that they're playing against. You know, and Rockets had a really tough start playing those top sort of 4 or 5 teams as their first games. You know, this is their first game against Lothian. They've still got Mohawks to play. So absolutely, and some of the guys aren't able to score in the way that they could in Division 1 because that defensive pressure is so much better that they're going up against. So they're having to find other ways to score. So this is going to be a great one, definitely one to kind of prove a point, I think.
Well, last season's Division 1 MVP, Lewis Edwards, has of course moved on to the Jaguars, just in Nottingham. And Finlay Erskine for Lothian, who had a great game in the final, has moved on to pastures new over in Germany. 9 survivors from this Lothian team that competed in the Division 1 final last season. Barker inside to his brother Reese. Beautiful basketball, transition basketball, just how the Reading Rockets like it.
Yeah, they love it, and you know what? That's what we missed in that fourth quarter. Last time against, remind me who we played? We played really well against Manchester, yes. And that was that fourth period where we needed that Reese Barker finish under the basket, so he'll be loving being back on court today.
Shot is up from Josh Manson, no good. Ben Leach leading all scorers right now with 13 points for the Phoenix. Tom Elliott-Smith has 9 to lead Reading. Lanway Sawami goes for 2. He's short. Reese Barker on the follow. Can't get it to fall. Ball batted around out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Rockets, who are currently shooting 50% from the floor right now. Conversely, Lothian shooting just 38%. As substitutions come into the game, Jose Alexander checks in, as well does Shane Humphreys. And also into the game for the first time is Josh Kitchen. Here is Elliott-Smith at the foul line, Manning. And we've got to say as well, it's great that Lothian Phoenix have actually come out here today. Of course, weather restrictions really hampering all of Scotland at the moment, so great to see Lothian make the trip here to Berkshire today. And James Beattie with a 2 from mid-range. Barker. Heavily pressured by Manson. Reese Barker too strong off the window, and Shane Humphreys collects the rebound. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Alexander, a veteran of this Lothian Phoenix team, over a decade with the Phoenix. And inside it goes, the miss there from Manson, and it's rebounded by Elliott-Smith, and here comes Reese Barker for the Rockets. To Liam Barker. Liam Barker doesn't get it to fall. Good rebound from Elliott-Smith. He stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, nice hustle play from Tom there. As we all say, you always go for them.
Tom Elliott-Smith, who's finding life a little difficult at the moment with the Cardiff Met Archers in the WPL, obviously mixing his head coaching duties with playing for the Rockets, but having a great season individually, it must be said, with Reading Rockets averaging a double-double this season, 17 points, 12 boards on 50%, 57% shooting. Those are good statistics right there.
Yeah, he's Mr. Consistent. You know, it's lovely when coaches know what you're going to get out of players, and obviously we will have good and bad days, but there's still a consistency with what you get from him. Whether you'd say he's had a really amazing game or a quiet game, he doesn't really have a quiet game. The stats always show this consistency with him, so it's so nice for coaches to know what you're going to get from players like Tom. You know, and we're so proud of him with his coaching role at the moment as well. That's another challenge for him to step into that. You know, enjoyed watching the WPL on YouTube over the weekend. So yeah, we wish him all the best with the Cardiff Met ladies.
And so far already flirting with a double-double, which would be his 6th double-double of the season if he were to get it. 11 points, 8 boards so far for Tom Elliott-Smith. Just the one game this season where he has not had a double-double. That was against the Titans just before Christmas. Of course, that game he was hampered by foul trouble. 2:31 to go in the second period. Straight away a 3 rattles in. And it's James Beattie from downtown at the top. No hesitation whatsoever.
I was going to say, I wouldn't have left Beattie out there. I've seen him shoot, and he can knock those down. So just to let him roll in and shoot that 3. Frustrating miss for Tom there, just under the basket.
Absolutely. Kitchen with the rebound. Away comes James Beattie for the Phoenix. The two promoted teams in the Premier Division going head-to-head here today for the first time this season. Kitchen gets it back. Humphreys at 2 along the baseline is good. And right now it's a two-point game, one possession contest here. Phoenix pegging back here as Reece Barker dances to the hoop and scores.
Yeah, great move from Reece there, using his speed, his ability in his chair just to break down that defense on that wing.
Many players saying Reece was so missed against the Revolution a couple of weeks ago as James Beattie, back-to-back triples for James Beattie. Barker almost thought like he was going to respond there, and a steal from Alexander, who pips Tom Elliott-Smith, and away come the Phoenix, trailing by 1. Humphreys inside, looking for Manson. Manson and Sawami battling, and that's the thing with Lanway Sawami, is a glue player who will fight for every possession. A really tenacious defender, isn't he, is Sawami?
Oh, absolutely, and he trains that way as well. That's not just how he is on game day. You train against him any day of the week. He's so tough, he's such a competitor, and I was so pleased he had such a great game against Manchester last week. You've seen a real different player in him since then as well.
Well, if you've just joined us on the Reading Rockets YouTube channel, welcome everybody to Loddon Valley. And once again, and the final time I will say it, apologies for the technical difficulties we had in bringing you the action, but hopefully you are enjoying your Sunday afternoon with some high-quality elite wheelchair basketball here in the heart of Berkshire as the Reading Rockets lead 33-32 over the Lothian Phoenix. They had a lead as big as 9 points, did Reading, but Lothian have responded very well, haven't they, Steph?
Yeah, they have, and it's a shame. The Rockets kind of got into that fast break basketball that they love, but then to come down and for Lothian to hit 2 back-to-back threes is a bit of a killer. So yeah, they've got the ability to pull this away, but not if they're going to let them come down and shoot like they did.
Beattie, who has the hot hand right now and on the ball, but nearly lost his handle, recovered well. 4 to shoot for Lothian. Phoenix goes alongside, and that'll be a shot clock violation. James Beattie, I don't think was aware that the shot clock was winding down. He had some space there to actually take the shot.
Yeah, I think that's a good matchup with Reece at the top on Beattie, to be honest. He can match him with speed, and that's difficult for shooters. If they can't kind of get an early look in, you kind of got to adjust yourself, and Reece doesn't let anybody past him, so that's quite a nice matchup for Rockets.
James Beattie had 15 points, 4 rebounds in the playoff final last season against the Rockets for the Phoenix. That's a miss from Barker. Final 20 seconds of the half. And James Beattie, and an unsportsmanlike foul has been called. Referee David Kingston in good position there to see the call. So the Phoenix have a chance to not just tie the game, they can also take the lead here.
Yeah, absolutely. That will be a bit of a heartbreak for Rockets as to go on that run and then potentially go into the second half down. They're going to really have to bounce back, not just physically, but mentally kind of bounce back from this.
And they have tied the game with 16.6 seconds remaining on the game clock. We are tied at 33, and James Beattie now moves on to 9 points for the Phoenix. Alexander and Beattie loses the handle. 13.3 seconds remaining in the half, and an unforced error there for the Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely. But tough defense from Rockets. You know, they kind of saw what they were trying to do.
Barker. Sawami in his favourite spot sets himself off the back iron. Barker, Elliott-Smith collects the loose pieces and puts it in on the half buzzer. And for all of Lothian Phoenix's hard work in the latter stages of that second period, tying the game up after trailing by 9, they find themselves down 35-33 at the break.
Yeah, and I feel we've been here quite a few times with the Rockets team this year, though, kind of standing on the balcony at Loddon Valley, a tight game at half-time, and then it all goes a bit wrong in the second half. So, again, it's been a game of everything, and that's the kind of game we won against these two. You know, they've come up together, they've faced some tough losses, you know, in the journey to actually meet each other now. So, yeah, they'll both be going after it. So it's been nice to see it kind of swing back and forth. Who knows what the second half's going to bring?
So leading scorers flirting with a double-double is Tom Elliott-Smith, 13 points, 9 boards on 5 of 7 shooting so far. A couple of players on 6 points. It just so happens to be the Barker brothers, Liam and Reese. They both have 6 right now. Leading the way for the Phoenix is Ben Leach, who has 13 points on 6 of 13 shooting. James Beattie has 9 on 2 of 2 from downtown, but it's half-time here at Loddon Valley. Reading Rockets lead 35-33, and we'll be back in roughly 9 minutes' time. Hello everyone, welcome back to Lothian Valley where we're about to start the third quarter. John Hobbs, Steph Johnson keeping you company on the Reading Rockets YouTube channel where the Rockets currently lead the Lothian Phoenix 35-33 in a rematch of last season's Division 1 National Playoff Final. It's a bit of a closer affair this time round. It's been very physical, very chippy, but Rockets have the lead.
Yeah, definitely. They've, both teams are making some errors. Rockets are missing their kind of what we would say easy finishes for them under the basket. They've left shooters open a bit too much. So I hope to see a bit of a defensive adjustment. I think they've got the ability to put a bit more pressure on them defensively. But Lothian are shooting so well, so they've got to be pushing out to shooters and really communicating their defensive switches as well.
Both teams shooting in the mid 40% range in this first half. Couple of threes have been knocked down, most notably from James Beattie, who is a good shooter, and he is showing that prowess here in this game. Tom Elliott-Smith 1 rebound shy of a double-double, 13 points, 9 boards as we start the third period. And Reece Barker, statement of intent early, passes it to Tobin, who passes it to Sawami. Here is Barker. Barker lobs it to Mitten, back to Tobin, who throws it up, and Tom Tobin is off with that shot. And here comes the Phoenix. Kitchen goes to ground and is fouled. Of course, in that playoff final, Reading won the game 77-52. Lewis Edwards had a double-double, was named MVP. Now, of course, plying his trade a bit closer to home with the Jaguars, who are league leaders in the Premier Division right now. Of course, Reading without a win this season. Could this be the game that finally ends that streak? They're currently 0-6, Lothian 1-5 in the Premier Division. Lothian's only win this season coming against the Mohawks. And that should be a very entertaining game on February 9th when Reading host the Mohawks here at Lothian Valley. And Reece Barker fouls James Beattie along the baseline. And that's foul number 1 on Barker.
Yeah, not a huge amount of fouls called in this game. No one's sitting on any foul trouble, which is great for both teams. I see the referees just letting them play.
Has been a very physical first 2 quarters. Alexander along the baseline. Game is tied at 35. Elliott-Smith looks for Barker, finds him, and Reece Barker will head to the foul line. And that was some of the link-up play between Elliott-Smith and Reece Barker that Reading didn't have against Manchester a couple of weeks ago. Of course, Reece Barker missing due to illness, and his absence really, hampered the Rockets, especially in that last quarter, because for the first 3 quarters, it was very competitive, very close, until a 20-7 fourth quarter swayed it in Manchester's favour.
Yeah, absolutely. Reece's ability to get down on that block and normally make that kind of little baseline shot for him is such a big thing they miss, and his ability to defend really quick, fast players as well. They really miss him.
And the attacking to the hoop, like you saw, another thing that was missed against Manchester. He missed on that occasion, though. Here is Shane Humphreys, lobs it to James Beattie, and Beattie rattles one in. Good, simple offense right now from Lothian, and they have a 2-point lead.
Yeah, absolutely. They're moving the ball with intent. They know who they're trying to get it to, getting it to the right people in the right places. We've just gone a little bit sloppy here.
And
picking up a foul we don't need.
And Barker just had it stripped off him by Josh Manson. And here is Manson on the ball. He had a good game in the last year's final as well. Here is Kitchen. Straight away, strings one. And now it's a 4-point lead for the Phoenix.
Yeah, so Rockets just taking their foot off the gas a little bit defensively. They haven't played their usual kind of high-line pressure defense.
Tobin looks for Barker. No hesitation. Barker misses the two from the foul line. James Beattie comes up with it. Good spell this for the visitors from Scotland. Manson. And Humphreys will slow it down, gives it back. And that shot is way off from Manson, but he will get the ball back, will he? No, he won't. Alex Mitten has it. Alex Mitten stripped off him. He was looking for Sawami, but just before he could complete the pass, it goes out of bounds. It was deflected off as Liam Barker checks back in. Reece Barker goes to the bench.
Yeah, let's see if Rockets can get something out of this end-line play.
Need to find a little bit of rhythm, do the Rockets. And Tobin misses the two. Had his season best of 14 points against Manchester a couple of weeks ago. James Beattie finds Humphreys. Alexander in acres of space decides to slow it down. Kitchen, good defense from Sawami. Shot clock winding down for Lothian. Alexander has to heave, and that's a shot clock violation. Good defense from the Rockets.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to see a little bit more from them. You know, they're a really good defensive team, but they've just been a little bit sloppy on the last few offenses by Lothian, but that's much better from them.
Of course, Lothian's last game, they lost 62-18 against the Sheffield Steelers. Sawami. Barker. Short. And Elliott Smith collects it back. Mitten. Kitchen for company. 7 to shoot. Sawami doesn't get it to 4, but a late contact there from Shane Humphreys. And Sawami will head to the foul line. And with that long rebound there as well, Tom Elliott Smith collects his double-double as well.
There it is.
So 13 points, 10 boards for Tom Elliott Smith. 6th double-double of the season for the Rockets, number 4, as Sawami will head to the foul line. Had 8 points on 4 of 10 shooting against Manchester. Did the Londoner, who makes the first. And for Sawami, another one of those players that every coach loves, a glue player who can, you know, put points up, especially from the foul line. Sawami likes that free throw line shot, but he's a glue player, isn't he? A good defensive player and does all the things you don't see on the stats.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, you know, when you watch how he picks and gets guys open and holds players back, as you said, that doesn't show on any stat sheet, but it is such an incredible skill to have. But yeah, but sometimes gone unnoticed by those watching.
And a bit of a miscommunication there, and Tom Elliott Smith says thank you very much. Sawami has it back, looks for Barker. Sawami along the baseline. Good recovery defense from the Phoenix. 5 to shoot for Barker. Puts it up, doesn't get it to fall, but again, 2 shots at the foul line. This time Liam Barker will head to the strike.
Yeah, much better. They're looking a bit more lively now.
Still down by 3 though at the moment, as Ben Leach will come into the game, as will David Beattie. James Beattie and Josh Kitchen head to the bench as Barker rattles in the first. Liam Barker now on to 7 points. Gap is 2. And it stays at 2. It's a one-possession game in this very closely contested contest overall. Here is David Beattie. Barker for company. Alexander, good defense from Mitten. Barker blocks. Beattie, ball batted out of bounds. It will go, I think, to the Phoenix.
Oh, everyone's pointing different ways. Let's rock, paper, scissors for it.
David Kingston, our official there, just confirming that it will be a Phoenix ball. 5:52 remaining in the third. Lovely play there, and Humphreys is fouled by Tobin in frustration. Bats the ball right towards the Rockets bench. And Shane Humphreys will head to the line. Good off-ball movement, though, from Humphreys, getting those wheels moving and getting himself open, going to the hoop.
Yeah, definitely. Tobin just got the wrong side of Humphreys there, so you know you're going to foul it. If you're going to try and stop someone from behind, you're going to end up fouling them.
Humphreys makes his first. Started playing his basketball over in Dundee for the Dundee Dragons. Now a proud veteran of the Lothian Phoenix. And he makes them both. Lothian Phoenix, such a proud wheelchair basketball club based out of Edinburgh. Making the long trip here today. Amid, of course, all the weather warnings that have happened across the country as Sawami goes inside off the window.
Yeah, and that's what you saw from Sawami in the Manchester game. That little give and go, that top defender just turns their head. That's all you need. It's all you need to make that cut.
Manson lobs it. Lovely 1-2 basketball, and the finish from Alexander at the other end. Great pass, though, from Ben Leach, almost a tap pass to Alexander.
Yeah, such great vision. Such great vision to know where that player is even before the ball's in your hands.
Barker. Inside looking for Elliott Smith. And now Lothian can break with David Beattie. Barker keeps up and a foul has been called. Liam Barker went for the steal and got a bit too much of the player and the chair. And a foul on Liam Barker. It will be an end-line ball. Second foul on Liam Barker.
Yeah, he's slightly frustrated with that. He feels that he got the ball cleanly and then he got fouled, but not what we're seeing. And that's a tricky one. We're at a funny angle here, so you've got to trust what we're seeing.
43-39, Lothian Phoenix in the ascendancy right now, and they'll get the ball back as Ben Leach lost the ball, but it was deflected out of bounds by Tobin.
Tobin, who became a dad to twins this week.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if he's looking a little jaded,
we'll talk
I feel
about
for
that.
him.
We'll talk about that in just a second, actually. There's the miss there from Leach. Gets the ball back, and a foul has been called. As Manson will just get himself back up. But yes, congratulations to Tom Tobin, the number 0 for the Rockets, giving birth, or his other half giving birth to twins this week.
Don't give him the credit.
He's had a lack of sleep, what do you need? But congratulations to the Tobin family. It's been all over his Instagram page, hasn't it, this week? And the miss there from Leach. On the follow, though, was Manson. And here is the dad on the ball. Liam Barker. Sawami. Mitten. Goes for 2 off the window. No good. Tobin on the follow. Good hustle there from the Rockets, and a timeout has been called by coach Niall Ritchie of the Phoenix. And it's a two-possession game with 4:10 remaining in the third. And this has been almost the story of the game, hasn't it? It's been almost like a tactical game of chess, like a tug of war between these two teams. But right now, the Phoenix just have the advantage. They have had the advantage for the majority of this third period, haven't they? And Reading coming back, though, slowly but surely.
Yeah, and what you said earlier, that look, Phoenix have just played some really nice, composed basketball, moving the ball with intent, knowing where they're trying to get it to. Rockets have been a little bit loose, trying to make passes that are kind of quite difficult passes to make, rather than just taking a second longer, letting that player move and just give them a simple pass, which is easy for us to say up here, but I would say that was the biggest difference. It was just real composed basketball by Lothian Phoenix, little bit rushed, little bit, the kind of ball's getting to somebody, but with no real kind of reason to get there. It just ends up with that person. Whereas that last play, much better, much more like the Rockets we see. They're going to need more of that in the late stages of this third quarter to go into the fourth, not chasing a deficit.
Now, one positive about the Rockets in this game against Manchester, even though they were in that game for 3 of the 4 quarters, they only went to the line 5 times in that game. Not much attacking basketball going on today. They've been to the line 10 times already.
Yeah, a really different team, and it kind of shows how deep they are in there and how they can score. You know, Barker's been quite quiet today in terms of how he shot. You know, he was incredible against Manchester, shot the ball really well, being slightly quiet today, so they've had to go to something else, had to go to drives inside, as we're doing right now.
And there you go, Barker missed the 2 inside with the left hand. And away comes the Phoenix. Good recovery defense, but David Beattie breaks free, and Elliott Smith bats it out of bounds. It will stay with the Phoenix. Good help defense from Tom Elliott-Smith.
Yeah, brilliant. And you know, when you communicate that, that's where you don't end up fouling. You know, before we've seen it where the communication hasn't been there, you don't know you've got somebody to help, so you have to put your hands in and try and end up getting the foul. That wasn't needed there.
Ben Flanagan into the game for the Phoenix. Shane Humphreys to the bench. Here is Beattie. 8 to shoot for the Phoenix. Leach putting the moves on Barker. Tobin to help. Leach short with the 2. Rebound by Elliott Smith. 4-point game. 3:08 remaining in the third. Tom Tobin with it. Sawami looks for Elliott Smith. And that's off the back iron. It's rebounded by Leach.
Yeah, good look in there, though. Tom had a mismatch in there. Couldn't quite get the finish.
7 rebounds for Ben Leach, who still has it. He's also on 13. Still hasn't scored in this third period, and we'll have a brief stoppage as Josh Manson So it should stay with the Phoenix, and it will stay with the Phoenix. Unsure as to why players went to the Reading end.
Yeah, I think the referees gave a warning for them moving once they're down. Also, you've got to, you need to stay down. You've got to need help getting up. But because Manson moved, I think that was what the warning was for. But I think it was only a warning.
David Beattie's pass finds no one but Liam Barker, who can break. Sawami onto the floor. Tobin. Offensive foul has been called on Tobin, who clashed into Josh Manson. And a bit of a break, a bit of a respite there for the Phoenix.
Yeah, really good defensive position by Manson there. You know, they were on a fast break, got really good positioning. That was a really tough call, but the right call.
Just outside of the cylinder as well. As Beattie met by Tobin. Here is Leach. Leach breaks away from Barker. Alexander goes for 2. In and out. Rebounded by David Beattie. And Phoenix reset. Instead, he'll go it alone. And Tobin rebounds. Tobin putting the moves on Manson. Finds Sawami, did well to find him. Lovely pass out to Mitten. 7 to shoot for Reading. Mitten to Tobin. They've got to get busy here of Reading. Mitten, the shot is good.
What a shot, what a shot.
Almost thought that was one pass too many, but Alex Mitten with the score. And that's his second field goal of the day. Manson. Good defense from Tobin. Here is Leach. 5 on the shot clock for the Phoenix this time. He puts it up, and that's off the back iron. And now a chance for Reading to either tie the game or take the lead. Barker attacks, finds Tobin inside, and he was met by a swarm of black jerseys.
Yeah, I was going to say somewhere in there's a foul. I'm not sure where, it's somewhere.
Kind of sums up how this contest has gone, hasn't it? It's been incredibly scrappy, very chippy at times. And that obviously reflects in the, what you could say, a low-scoring affair, 43-45, as we enter the final minute of the third. Tobin. Almost picked there by Alexander. Tobin still has it. Here is Mitten. Mitten has a bit of space, but decides not to take the shot. It's winding down for Barker. That's off the back iron. Both teams really using up the shot clock in their last few possessions. Beattie will just slow it down. Leach has it, and Leach just about gets it to fall. And it's back to a 2-possession game.
Yeah, so tricky. You get Leach that low. You know, he's so tall in his chair. It's a very, very difficult place to defend him on.
Barker finds a bit of space, but fluffs his lines. Shot clock is off, and Lothian have a chance to make it a 6-point game. Beattie all alone inside. Misses the layup. Final seconds of the third, and Reading have to make this count. Tobin, Sawami inside, gets it to go.
Great finish.
And back-to-back scores on the buzzer for the Reading Rockets. They did it in the second to end the half. They've done it again in the third. But the score is 47-45 to the Lothian Phoenix.
Yeah, I think we've seen some misses from Rockets that are unusual for them. I think Barker will be not as happy with his performance today. You know, he's always a great player defensively, moving the ball. But in terms of finishing, I would say he probably hasn't been where he was at, especially the way he shot against Manchester.
Well, only one player has double figures for the Reading Rockets. It's Tom Elliott-Smith with 13. However, he did not score in that third period, but did collect his elusive 1 rebound for the double-double. He now has 13 boards to lead the Rockets. Lunway Sawami has 9 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Ben Leach leading all scorers right now for the Phoenix with 15. James Beattie has 11 to support him. But just like we saw against Manchester, it all ties up to be quite an interesting fourth quarter. But for Reading, it's all about maintaining that pressure and not get stuck playing the opposition's game, because that's pretty much what they did against Manchester. And obviously we know the results of what happened there.
Yeah, absolutely. And this fourth quarter thing has been a real kind of pain in their side, to be honest. And not just against Manchester, we've seen it in the away games that they've had as well. They've kept up teams up to the halfway line, had an okay third, and then just couldn't keep it going in the fourth. It's been their kind of thing they've been working on. So I hope that doesn't happen again today.
Good to see members of the Reading Rockets and the Derby Trailblazers checking out the action here at Loddon Valley. Fourth quarter is underway, and it's a 2-point game. It's all to play for in this Premier Division clash. Elliott-Smith inside. Game is tied at 47. Steal there from Reece Barker. Barker. Tom Elliott-Smith comes up with it. And here is Liam Barker all alone for the layup. And the Rockets have the lead.
Yeah, they've come out firing, which, you know, when they know that this fourth quarter is a quarter they haven't been able to manage yet, you've got to come out with real energy.
Beattie misses the three from the top. It's rebounded by Elliott-Smith, and you can tell the energy, as you said, Steph, that the Rockets have. And another score this time. Reece Barker, a 6-0 start from the Rockets.
Yeah, and that's what they need. You know, they've come out in fourths, you know, kind of slow, sluggish, and it's just gone downhill from there. So this is so good to see. I'm much more fired up. I can see that their last team talk was a little bit about, right, it's fourth quarter time, guys. We've been here before.
Kitchen finds Flanagan. Flanagan loses the ball. It goes out of bounds. It will be a Reading ball. And you've got to remember as well, Reading without the services of Maddie Martin and Jade Loughlin today, obviously both on WPL duty, so it's a shortened Reading bench. And right now, they're taking, you know, the game to the Lothian Phoenix as Barker has it. Barker along the baseline, finds Reece inside, gets it to fall. Everything dropping for the Rockets.
Absolutely, and you know, when you've got players like Liam and Reece who can score like they can, and they haven't quite come alive yet, there's still time. And if those two come alive in the fourth quarter, they're going to be a real tough duo to defend.
Flanagan misses inside. Tobin collects the loose change. Ella Beaumont into the game as well for the Rockets. Tom Elliott-Smith inside. A 10-0 start for the Rockets. And the Phoenix have seen enough timeout by the visitors, and a lot for Niall Ritchie to think of. And Grant Barker high-fiving all of the Rockets players right now. They are in dreamland.
Yeah, I think they're finally like, right, we've started our fourth the way we've always been trying to. So yeah, I'm not surprised about a timeout being called. You know, that pace you've got to just stop that, regroup, talk about your defense, get yourself together again, come back on the floor.
Rockets currently 0-6 in the BWB Premier Division. Lothian Phoenix 1-5. This was always going to be a big, big contest when the fixtures came out this season. Could this be the Rockets' day today, or can the Phoenix rise from the ashes with 7:52 remaining and pull off a win to take back to Scotland? But right now, Reading, it's all Reading right now. It's a 10-0 start to this fourth period.
Yeah, absolutely. Be interested to see what Phoenix come out and do slightly differently, how they kind of slow that fast break of Reading that we saw all last season. That is their bread and butter, and teams have really stopped them doing that this season.
Well, 10-0 run in the third quarter, 12-0 right now. Alexander breaks that.
Yeah, can't take their foot off the pedal. You know, it's a nice cushion, but it's not a big enough cushion.
And the pass from Tobin asking too much of Reece Barker. And that basket from Jose Alexander breaking a 12-0 run that spanned the end of the third to the fourth period. Beaumont now on Manson. Manson spins, finds Alexander inside, and Barker with the rebound. Only Reece Barker's fifth rebound to go with 10 points, excuse me. Here is Elliott-Smith off the glass.
Yeah, nice pass from Tobin. Felt he was fouled there.
6:50 remaining in this one. And the Rockets have a big lead right now. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a Lothian ball. Reading's biggest lead of the game was 9 points. Leach Finds Alexander, shot clock winding down. Alexander grazes the rim. It's rebounded by Humphreys. It's blocked by Elliott Smith. It will stay with the Phoenix. Leach on the catch and shoot is money.
Yeah, they've defended Leach so well, but you leave him open on one possession. That's all he needs. You know, he's such a good player.
17 for Leach. Barker looks to respond, thought he was fouled by Manson, and away comes the Phoenix. David Beattie has it. Kicks it out to Humphreys. Good defense from Elliott Smith. 4 minutes played in the fourth. Tobin, and that's again asking too much this time of Liam Barker.
Yeah, and they don't need to rush, you know. You've got to be smart with the clock. You know, when you're in the latter stages of a game and you're up, you've got to be smart with your shot clock. You know, you've got to be smart when, yeah, is it a fast break with 1-0? Of course, you take it. But after that, you know, the clock's on your side. If they haven't got the ball, they can't score. So be smarter with it. They've chewed away at 2 really quick shot clocks in those last 2 offences.
Leach misses the short 2. Here is Barker. Lobs it to Liam, gets it back as it was batted away from him. Barker the 2, doesn't get it the fall, it's rebounded by Leach. Alexander. There's 10 on the shot clock here for the Phoenix, very slow to get their offense going. Leach along the baseline, shot clock at 2. They've got to get busy. And rebound again by Elliott Smith. That's rebound number 16 for him.
Yeah, good defensive set there. Played a little bit higher, a little bit more aggressively. Kind of made Phoenix struggle there.
And a 3-second violation called on Tom Elliott Smith. As Tobin checks out, Langway Sawami comes in.
Yeah, Reece Barker just saying to his team, just let's calm down. You know, we don't need to rush. We're not chasing. You know, when you're chasing, you need a bit more pace. When you're holding the lead, just hold the lead. Use your shot clock. Just calm. No need to panic.
Josh Manson battered there by Elliott Smith. He wants a foul. I think that's why he chucks the shot up. He was expecting a whistle to go there, but no.
Always worth a try.
It was always worth a try.
Absolutely. If you're in the motion of shooting, you're going to be at the free throw line.
No whistle coming, though. And here comes Reece Barker. He sees a bit of daylight inside, but good recovery defense there from Ben Leach, and the Rockets will get it back with 13 on the shot clock. Liam Barker. Sawami finds Elliott Smith, did well to collect and score.
Great finish there, really good finish. A bit smart using the shot clock now. They got it down to sort of 11 and 10. Yeah, you got to find your shooter now.
21 points for Tom Elliott Smith to go with 16 boards. And at the other end, Josh Manson just about gets it to go. There was a lot of English on that. No disrespect to the Scots, of course. And the referee's just calling the Rockets back to restart play. So far, so good, though, for the Reading Rockets. A good start to the fourth quarter has propelled them to this lead. Here is Sawami. Looking for help. Shot clock. Still a lot of time on the shot clock as Elliott Smith misses the 2. Manson. Manson lobs it to Leach. Leach, a fadeaway shot is good.
Wow, that's such a tough shot to make.
Especially over 2 defenders
I was going to say,
as well.
Yeah, Barker and Elliott Smith on him, and he's rolling backwards, and he scores. That's incredibly difficult.
Sawami. David Beattie for company. Liam Barker has it. And the whistle has gone. There'll be 2 shots for Liam Barker.
Yeah, needs to knock these down. Leads quite not enough. at the moment, still a lot of basketball time left.
And Liam Barker, like you said, Steph, has struggled today. 4 of 13 from the field for Liam Barker, and for a player who averages, away a lot of on the statistics, really high numbers. 15 points, 6 assists, 6 boards. Having a really, struggling to here today.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's probably why this game stayed a little bit closer than we probably would have thought if we looked at the scores between Phoenix and other teams and Rockets and other teams. They've lost by a lot more, so you kind of look at that going, okay, this should be a Rockets win here, but this has been close. But when you haven't got the likes of Liam scoring as he does, it makes a big difference.
Well, Liam Barker, with his 10 points here today, has gone over the 100 points marker for the season. Only Tom Elliott-Smith had over 100 points for the Rockets this season. Liam Barker now joining him, and the Rockets lead by 6. Reese Barker driving inside, finds Liam Barker too strong off the window. But Liam Barker steals it off Manson. Reese Barker. Barker for 2 is good. 8-point lead for the Rockets.
Yeah, nice decision on that by Reese. I thought the last play, he was a little bit unsettled. I think he probably had that drive, dished it off to Liam, but I think Reese probably could have taken that one. So nice to see him hit that kind of a little free throw jumper there.
David Beattie ready to restart play. Former Great Britain under-23 international was David Beattie back in the day. Has also represented Scotland. Of course, one of the prouder moments of his career, representing Scotland on the national stage. Here is Leach. Leach for 2. That's way strong. And you feel that Lothian's execution just getting the better of them, really. They're not really in any sort of rhythm whatsoever. Even with open jumpers right now, nothing is falling for Lothian.
Yeah, they made it look, I know it's not effortless, but made it look effortless in sort of the first half. They just moved the ball so well, got it to the right people, and made basketball look easy, which it's not. But yeah, that spark's kind of gone a little bit in this fall, whether they're feeling the pressure of this game getting away from them.
Barker is fouled as he passed it to Sawami. Lothian have only scored 8 points in this fourth quarter. Conversely, the Rockets have scored 18. It's almost like a role reversal of the Manchester game in a way. In a game that's been incredibly tightly contested as Elliott-Smith goes to ground, and an offensive foul has been called on Elliott-Smith.
Yeah, that's a tough call also to lose an offense from it as well. But they've got time. They've got time. Both teams have got time.
Manson. Final 2 minutes here at Loddon Valley. Manson a 2, that's long, but he finds David Beattie in good spot. But he misses his 2 under the hoop. And the foul from Ben Leach. Rockets still have not committed a foul in this fourth period. That's the 4th team foul for the Phoenix.
Yeah, possibly a tactical foul, get them shooting on the next one.
That's 2 fouls on Leach, so no real foul trouble for him, no real foul trouble for any of the Lothian players, come to think of it. Sawami, Elliott-Smith, Barker, Reese Barker, off the window and down.
Yeah, lovely offense.
And that is the biggest lead of the game for Reading, and it's come with 1:36 remaining. What a time to get your biggest lead. And a timeout has been called by Lothian. And could that have been the dagger that gives Reading that first win of the season?
Yeah, I think a 10-point lead with 1:36 to go, that's tough. We've seen it happen in running game. It go the other way, but it is so much harder to score that quickly with 1:36 left to go. But it's so nice to see Reading on the other end of this, because they've been the other end of this on so many occasions where that game just gets away from them and the time just runs out. And, you know, do Phoenix come out firing and fighting back? They will, because of the type of team they are. I don't think they'll just kind of rest up and go, we can't do this. They'll definitely go at them. So Reading got to be ready for that, because they've got shooters, they've got guys who can make threes. Anything can happen, but it's a nice cushion. It's a comfortable cushion to have.
Well, Reading came out firing in the fourth period, and a 20-8 fourth quarter has seen them take a 10-point lead. Tom Elliott-Smith, 21 points, 16 boards, leading the way for Reading. And Reading now over their average for the season. They average 61 points per game. They've got to 65. Conversely, Lothian are actually the lowest scorers in this Premier Division. They only score 43 points per game, but 55 points for them in what is really one of their longest trips of the season is no mean feat, is it?
No, definitely. I mean, that journey is a tough one, and the Rockets have got it, I think, last game of the season.
Yeah.
They're going to Lothian, so we're going to face that long journey and playing right at the end of the season.
Because Lothian were meant to travel down south on Friday to face London Titans and then play Reading. The game against London postponed due to the weather conditions in Scotland, so they've just made it here today. Reece Barker inside and a foul! And that is a dagger basket. And Reece Barker with back-to-back scores. And surely that is that.
Yeah, I'm so pleased Reece has had such a good fourth. He went out pretty frustrated in the first half, missing his shots. He got called for 2 fouls, and and players can sometimes bounce back from that, and they can't. And he's such a professional, Reece. He trains so hard. He's always got it within him to come back, but it's easier said than done. So it's so nice to see him. I was saying, kind of, some of the players hadn't kind of shown what they can do yet, and Reece has come in the fourth, and he's been so difficult to guard. And they've had to guard something they kind of haven't had to guard for the 3 quarters prior to that.
Well, Richie wanted a timeout. Lothian are out of timeouts. Reading still have a couple to use, but we'll see what happens here. 3 is up, 3 is off to the left from Manson. Barker. Final minute, and Reading can smell victory. And Barker is fouled. Lothian are in the penalty, so that'll be 2 shots for Liam Barker. Liam Barker, a 60% foul shooter for the season, makes the first. And Liam Barker makes the second in what has been a good day's work for the Reading Rockets, and in around 45 seconds time, it'll be a case of a lucky 7 for them, as they will collect their first win of the season at the expense of the Lothian Phoenix, and crucially as well have the same record as their Scottish counterparts, with the Mohawks to come in another game that will be a must-win for Grant Barker's side. Foul has been called along the baseline.
Yeah, no one's quite sure who it's on.
But for Reading, of course, missing the services of Maddie Martin, Jade Loughlin, as we said today, through WPL commitments. A really solid win without 2 of their, glue players for the team. One in a defense, well, both of them really in defensive aspects, but Maddie has been showing a lot of offensive capabilities this season.
Oh, absolutely. And like we said, all the things that don't get statted is everything that Maddie Martin does. You know, she's such a great player to train against and play against. So, yeah, we you know, of course Rockets feel it when they're not here. So to get a win and not have them as well is incredible. And I hope we've got them for the Mohawks game. I haven't looked at their schedules yet.
James Beattie just about hanging on. Of course, Lothian are without a few players here today. As Liam Barker gets the rebound, Connor Smart, Austin McKenzie, Charlie Redmond not in the team today, so they've also been short-handed. But Rockets will get their first win of the season. 7 is the lucky number, and the Reading Rockets collect their first win of the season. And you can see relief from the team, including Liam Barker.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when they reflect on this, that game was closer than they probably wanted it to be at times. Made a few too many errors, but what a change of team in the fourth quarter. You know, when you just break that thing you've got in your head that we don't do very well. You know, sometimes you have to have broken it to say, actually, we can have a really good fourth. Not that in every game it's going to mean a win, but they know they can come out in the fourth. But they came out with a real different energy, and that's what you needed to see. You needed to come out with a real different mentality for the fourth to break that cycle of, you know, we go down in the fourth, we don't have that energy, we can't keep games going to the fourth. Yes, they can. They had to have a bit of belief that they could, and I hope they can take that through into the Mohawks game, but even into those sometimes tougher games that they've got within 10, 12 points of. You know, is there another win out there for them, as well as the Mohawks game?
Well, it's a carbon copy of what happened in Essex at the Div 1 playoff final when Reading won 77-52. And they've taken a leaf out of Manchester's book here from a couple of weeks ago. A 25-8 fourth quarter has seen them through against the Lothian Phoenix. They win 70-55 here today. Tom Elliott-Smith, all 40 minutes, 21 points, 18 boards for him. Reece Barker with 17 points, 9 boards. Liam Barker, 13 points and 9 assists for him. A good effort from the Lothian Phoenix. Ben Leach had 19 points, 11 rebounds for his own double-double. James Beattie, 11 points, but just 2 points in the second half for him. But the Lothian Phoenix have made the long trip from Scotland. Unfortunately, they fall short. The Reading Rockets collect their first win of the Premier League season. Congratulations to Grant Barker and everyone associated with the Rockets. My thanks to Steph Johnson. I'm John Hobbs, and I'll see you again soon.